Hey there. I'm super happy you're here. You're listening to a podcast about stuff, and it's starting right now. Welcome to the Simple Midwest. Welcome, everyone, to the Simple Midwest, episode 4. My name is Luke Carmichael, and today we have a very special episode. Today is the anniversary edition. You can welcome on my favorite guest that there will ever be, Allison Carmichael, my wife. Hey,
Hello.
Allie.
Hi.
I'm so happy that you're here. Well, it's not like you wouldn't be here since we live at this house together.
I live here, so.
Yeah. So today we're going to tell our story about how we met. We're going to talk about marriage, and it's just going to be a nice conversation. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Sweet. So is this your first podcast ever?
Yes.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited.
I feel like we're really lucky that we have Allison Carmichael. Actually, first story of the day is most of you probably know her as Allie Carmichael, and your real name's Allison.
Yep.
I think that's cool. So the whole time I've ever known her, she's just been faking it. She's not really Allie.
I am really Allie. I just don't go by Allison.
That makes sense. Well, let's get into it. So let's talk about how we met. Well, first, let's talk about how long we've been together.
This October will be 10 years that we have been together.
10 years. So that was, October of 2009 is when I met you.
Yep. We have been married. We'll be married for 4 years.
4
together,
years.
10 years.
Yeah, together 10 years, married 4 years, and we got married on March 7th, 2015.
Correct.
I used to remember it really easily because Allie got me these really sweet sunglasses as my wedding gift, and what were they? Ray-Bans, and they had the date.
Yeah, they were inscribed on the inside of them.
Yeah, and then some jerk decided to steal them out of my car right in front of our house.
Yep. Shortly after we got married, too.
Yeah. Ugh, I'm still mad about that. So if you're listening to this and you somehow have my Ray-Bans or you stole Ray-Bans from somebody's car and they have some random date on them, they're mine. And if you give them back to me, I will give you nothing. But I'll punch you.
I'm sure they're long gone by now.
Probably. Well, that one time we thought Drew's iPad was missing. Let me tell this story and then we'll tell the story. This story has nothing to do with anything. But
No, it really doesn't.
I know, but I feel like you guys will appreciate this if you're listening. So if you don't know, I have a little brother. His name's Drew. Me and Drew and my family and Allie, it was the first vacation Allie got to come on with us. Mm-hmm. We all went on a vacation to Florida, and me and Drew both brought our iPads. We got iPads one year for Christmas. And we went to this hotel, and it was like one of those times where it's just like a quick, like you just go to a hotel and then you move on to the next hotel because you're just traveling.
Pit stop.
Yeah, pit stop. And he left it. He must have brought it to the bathroom, like a private bathroom or something, but he left it there because we were playing Monopoly one night at our main hotel.
A couple nights later.
Yeah, a couple nights later. Like, we were playing Monopoly and Drew lost and threw a holy fit. I love you, Drew, if you're listening. This was just what you used to do. It was hilarious. And in the same 10-minute span, he found out he couldn't find his iPad. It was missing, and then it was gone. Like, he lost it, and it was a big thing. Well, let's see, what was it? It was maybe 4 years later.
It was a long time.
4 or 5 years later. This was probably 2 years ago at one of his football games. He plays football, and he was a kicker for the football team.
Yeah, it was at Moorhead, so it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, it was in high school. I thought
it was at Moorhead.
Maybe it was in Moorhead. I don't remember. It doesn't matter.
Either
way, I was at one of Drew's football games watching him, and I got a phone call from this guy who had really he kind of was speaking English, kind of speaking Spanish, but he was telling me, do you know Drew Carmichael? Do you have an iPad? I'm like, an iPad? And to bring the story all the way back around, this dude found Drew's iPad in Florida
in a mailbox.
And he sent it back, and Drew has it now.
Yep.
So
it's still working and in good condition.
Yeah. So I guess on the front of it, it said, I had sent a message to it that said, like,
You
if
did
you,
the Find My iPhone thing.
yeah, I used Find My iPhone, and I said, if you have this, the police are coming after you or something. So he probably fell for it, or somebody's probably like, oh,
Somebody
iPad.
probably
Oh,
ditched
no.
it and he found it.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, I don't know why I just told that story.
I don't remember. Oh, your Ray-Bans.
Yeah, my Ray-Bans. Anyways, this is pretty much our relationship, me rambling and getting to explaining. So, and Allie probably won't be the real Allie on the podcast and tell me to stop explaining so much.
I can tell you to stop explaining.
Oh, I would love that. I would love that. I'm just kidding. Please don't. Anyways, so let's tell our story about how we met. Do you want to tell it first? Let's both tell it from
I
both
can
of us.
start it, and then you always like to come in at some point.
Okay. Because I don't want to just talk the whole time. I want you to talk too.
Okay.
Because you got a beautiful voice.
Whatever.
You told me not to say that.
We
No,
tell the
it's okay.
same story of how we met. So,
Yeah, let's hear it.
we went to high school together. I was a sophomore and Luke was a junior. And our school didn't pass a levy, or it passed a levy.
It didn't pass a levy.
Didn't pass a levy,
A levy
and all of our
failed.
sports got taken away, and any extracurricular activities got taken away. So our school, which is in Grove City, Ohio, would go like 30 minutes away to London, Ohio, and we'd watch their football games because a lot of our students transferred to that school to play sports. And so we actually met there at a football game. You can go ahead and cut in.
I'll take it from here. So my night that night, I was very, for whatever reason, like I loved sports in high school. I'm like the complete opposite of this now, but I like to go to like sporting events. So I had a Comet Till I Die shirt on, and I took this levy thing probably a little bit too hard.
Everybody did.
Like we had a candle vigil for losing sports. That's for when people die, not for when you lose a sporting event.
Yeah.
Now when I look back at it, I feel really stupid for that. But it
was very serious.
Yeah, it was serious. People take their sports serious in Grove City, Ohio. So we were going to this. I was with my Young Life leader, Chad Zakata, and we were going to the London game because all the London people were there.
Side note to the story that you need to know is Luke knew my brother. He was in class with my brother. I did not know Luke at all.
Yeah, so like before this night, I didn't know Allie existed. I didn't know she was a person. I was in physics with her brother, and I knew him, and I knew what his face looked like. So that's going to help this next part. So we're at this game, and there's like, did you already say all the kids all transferred there?
Yeah.
So we just went there, and there's two student sections. There was like the actual London people student section, and there was the Central Crossing student section. Well, I saw these 3 girls with like matching shirts on that said like "Happy Birthday, Kenny." Or Kenneth or whatever.
I forgot about
Shout out Kenneth if you're listening.
That was our friend.
Yeah.
That played football.
Yeah. He's a really good filmmaker too.
He is, yeah.
In an alternate reality, you could have married him, and you would have still been married to a filmmaker.
I didn't like him. He was my friend.
Oh.
And it was his 16th birthday that night.
Oh, sweet 16.
Yeah.
Well, she was wearing a shirt like that. Anyways, she turns around, and I see her, and I just was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I knew that she looked, I was like, my brain, as fast as it could, and as awkward as I am, was thinking, all right, what can I say to her? Okay, she looks like Luke Boggs. I bet Luke Boggs is her brother. I'll just say it. So I was like, hey, you smile like your brother. And then I just walked away.
First thing that he ever said to me, ever.
Yep. Hey, you smile like your brother. And I turned around and I walked away. Not sure if, I don't know if what I was thinking after that, honestly, because it's been so long. But I know that later that evening, I was back at the top of the stands with our Young Life leader, Chad. Mm-hmm. And Allie also knew him because he ran track, and he was a track coach.
He was, yeah. One of the coaches.
Yeah, so why did you go up to where he was later in that night?
Because I wanted to say hi to him.
To him? So she came up there, and I basically...
wasn't trying to say hi to you.
You weren't trying to say hi to me? I figured.
There's also, like, we had mutual friends up there.
Yeah, that's true. There was a bunch of people, like Dylan Meinson was up there, and Brandon and Libby Shannon, I remember, for whatever reason, being up there.
We had a lot of friends up there.
We had friends. Anyways, and then we're up there, and for whatever reason in high school in 2009, Like if someone had a camera out, like we're taking as many pictures as we can.
Was it my camera?
It was probably your camera because you used to have one of those cameras, like a little Canon PowerShot camera. You
Yeah.
take like a ton of pictures with and post them all on Facebook and tag everyone. But I was like, take pictures of me. Take a picture of me. Take a picture with me. I was making her take pictures of me because I'm weird. And I don't know. We just hung out up there. We took our first ever picture together up there. I'll put it. I'll probably forget to put it on the screen. But
I'll remind you.
if I listen to this far in while I'm editing this, I'll put a picture on it for the YouTube listeners.
It's cool. Now we have a picture from the first night we met.
Yeah, it's really cool to look back and be like, oh, that was when we first
Luke's
met.
weirdness paid off.
It paid off. Well, yeah, because then the game went on and we hung out and we talked and I was trying to make her laugh because that's something that I like to do is make people laugh. And she laughs at everything that I do for whatever reason. I'm not funny. And she still laughs at stuff that I do.
I think you're funny.
Exactly. And that was like, she makes me feel good. So we went on with the night. And then I used to have like this little, I lived in the suburbs. So when I say this, it's not actually what it is. I like would be like, let me have a bonfire. We'd have these bonfires in my backyard. Well, we're living in the middle of the suburbs. It's just like a little fire pit. So it's like that night I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a bonfire. Invite Allie over. And I had went there with my friend Brandon and I'd went there with my friend Chad. So it was gonna be me, Chad, and Brandon having a little bonfire.
He acted like he was having this big bonfire.
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be a lot of people there.
Yeah, I was like, Allie, you want to come over to this bonfire at my house? She's like, yeah, sure. I'm like, all right, here, let me have your number. And so I think I put my number in her phone or something, and she texted me because I texted her my address. And then her and Maddie, Sarah at the time, or not Sarah at the time, Brush at the time, came over. So it was me, Brandon, Maddie, and Chad. So I thought it was super fun. And the second that they left, me and Chad and Brandon stayed up like all night talking about how I was going to ask Allie to homecoming. That was like the big thing. And what did you guys do when you left? I don't know what girls do when that kind of stuff happens.
Maddie told me that she thought that you liked me.
Nice. But you're not interested still. So
I was.
I had to work for it. Just kidding.
Not really.
Yeah. And then, yeah, there's more to the story. We'll go into the homecoming part. But a fun fact about that night, which I think is cool, is that I married you, and then my friend Brandon, who was there, married Maddie, who was also there.
Yep.
Which is just...
They started dating like the month after us, I think.
Yeah.
Got married the summer before us, or 2 summers before us. I don't remember. But, yeah.
Yeah.
We're all still friends.
And we're all friends now. And it's just weird how the stars aligned that night. Apparently, you don't see high school sweethearts that often. Yeah. No. Anyways, so homecoming, that was probably our first big fun thing. Which the thing we said earlier was like extracurriculars this year that we had met were not a thing.
No, you weren't allowed to
So
have them
we
anymore.
had to plan. We had like a private student council, and we planned this big homecoming in a car dealership. It was probably the coolest homecoming we ever had.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Way better than Central Crossing's
gymnasium. The ones where the lights are on completely.
Yeah.
Those are great. So I remember that being just a blast, and I asked you to homecoming with a skit at Young Life.
Yep.
Which we have a video of as well.
Yeah, you should put that in there.
I should try to put that in the video version just for you video folks.
It's on Facebook.
Yeah, basically I just pulled out this big skit where I asked her. It's cute. I look
He's
like
wearing a wig and
yeah, it's
looks
cringeworthy
awkward.
looking. It's super cringeworthy, but it was fun at the time. Oh, good times. But anyways, we met, we dated through high school, we dated in college. We only broke up once.
you went to college.
I went to college. When did we break up? The summer before senior year? My senior year?
Yeah.
Okay, so we broke up one time for like 3 months. Worst decision of my life. I dumped Allie like a loser.
Yeah.
I regretted it the second.
He told me that he didn't love me anymore.
You love to tell people that. I 100% still loved you. Right in that moment, I just was a kid, and I don't know. It was a stupid decision. Hey, I'm glad that when
It worked out.
we did get back together, we worked I worked at Tony's Coney's, and Allie was working at Tony's Coney's. And Tony's Coney's is owned by her grandparents,
family, yes.
her family, and she works at a flower shop that her family also owns. And we were working together a bunch the summer that we broke up. And it was funny because there'd be times where her like friends that were boys were coming over to the shop while I was working there, and I was all jealous. And my friends that were girls would come into the shop sometimes, and then she was maybe jealous. I don't know. And then one night Becky said,
"Oh yeah, my Aunt Becky. She still claims that she got us back together.
Yeah.
But she was like, I need to clean out the ice cream cooler. Luke and Allie, help me."
Yeah.
And then she left, and it was just me and Luke.
Mm-hmm. It was just us, and we cleaned out the cooler. And I think we like went to the movies that night.
Yeah, I think so.
And then I think we kissed in the car, and
maybe in a way she did.
I remember
she
did. I do remember kissing in the car, and I was like, "This is it. We're back together." And then we went back to.
No, then Luke told me
Oh no! Don't tell them this. Don't say it. Everyone's gonna think I'm a jerk.
That we couldn't get back together until after football and soccer season.
I did say that, and that was my first big job. I was surprised she took me back because she was very angry at me.
Yeah, no kidding.
Immediately, as well as like at that. Remember that senior that like Covenant?
Oh,
what was that? Not Covenant.
Not Covenant.
I don't know why I said that.
Common Academy.
Common Academy. I like was a senior, and I was hanging out with my senior friends, and I was just being a jerk. I was a jerk. Let's just say I was kind of.
We're both very different people.
We're different than we used to be. I cared a lot about what people thought about me, and which is probably what most high schoolers do. And I cared a lot about being popular. I don't know why. And I wasn't even popular.
Jealousy issues.
And I was jealous. Yeah, I was jealous about everything.
Not both of us.
Well, both of us. We had a lot of problems, but that's because we were two kids with crazy hormones, just changing.
Yeah, high school.
High schoolers.
Relationships.
Yeah, high school relationships.
If you can survive high school, you can survive anything.
Yes, that is so true. Which I think's cool because we kind of got to see what it was like to be in high school, and then we've kind of got to grow up together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I met you when you were 15.
15.
And now you're going to be 24.
I'm going to be 25.
You're going to be 25.
Awkward.
I'm going to have to get a really good gift this year. I'm sorry. Why did I think you're going to be 20? I think I meant to say you were 24.
I am 24, yeah.
See, I just think you're so young.
Mm-hmm.
You're like 20.
Just trying to come back
You guys all got to witness me be a bad husband on air, on podcast live, or whatever the heck this is.
It's all right.
Anyways, so we went to college. No, we didn't go to college. Allie kind of went to college. She was smart and got out of it and doesn't have any student loan debt. Good job. I got enough for the both of us.
Yeah.
I went to college, played soccer, went to a private college. Worst decision ever. I met some really cool friends there, but we're not going to talk about that in this podcast. I'll dedicate a podcast one day to why college is stupid for creatives.
Why Luke doesn't believe you should go to college.
Yeah, I got some good thoughts about it.
Maybe you should not make a podcast.
I probably should, and all the moms and dads out there would just hate me. Like, don't talk about that. Your kids have to go to college.
It's not for everyone, but it is for some people.
Some people it's great for. But anyways, and then I asked Allie to marry me in college with a video.
Yes.
It's on my YouTube channel. It's on this YouTube channel. Just scroll down.
Keep on scrolling to
and
see
you'll find.
Jet black hair
Yeah.
Luke.
Me with the dark black hair. I look ridiculous in that video. And
Your hair just looks really dark in that video.
In the video starts, I'm like, hey guys, I just
It sounds like he just like ran a few miles.
Yeah. I'm like, guys, I just asked Allie to marry me. It was funny. And made that video. It was super fun to make, and it was super fun to ask you, and we had all our family there. And then we got married a year after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a weird time for us because I like graduated college, then we got married. Well, I graduated college. I moved home for like 1 week. I moved into our apartment by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I lived there, and I lived by myself, everyone, because that's how you do it. If you're a Christian man.
What he means by that is we didn't live together before we got married.
We didn't live together before we got married. And I know that this is controversial, but most people are like, you have to live together before you get married, because how do you know if you're going to stay married? Well,
We just knew.
We knew. All right, so we're not going to stir up that pot. But anyways, also, just to let you guys all know, we are both Christians, so that probably helps in most of the decision-making we made prior to marriage. But I moved into the apartment and then went and got a new job, and then you
At Discovering the Jewish Jesus.
At Discovering the Jewish Jesus. Great
First
place.
big-time job.
Yeah, first big-time, big boy job. And then we got married, and then Allie moved in with me. And then at the end of that first year of marriage, we bought a house.
Yes.
So it was like a really crazy year.
Our lives were moving pretty fast.
Yeah, it was fun, though.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was some of the most fun stuff ever. I'm trying to remember some of the good times in our old moldy apartment.
There wasn't any.
None?
Our, the people below us would play music really loud and make our floors vibrate.
Yeah. And they were
hours.
scary.
Yeah, they were scary looking. And one time I asked Luke to go down and tell them to turn it down, and he wouldn't because he was afraid that he wouldn't come back up.
Oh, I wasn't going to come back up. I was scared to death. I was scared to death. There was no chance that if I would have went back upstairs or back downstairs, I would have came back up alive. Like the day we moved out, there was like 5 cops rummaging around. And
we won't say where they were.
Yeah, we won't tell you where it is
because
you
might live there.
You might live there, and
you might like it, and that's fine.
You might think it's the best place ever, and I'm sure it is. I do know that now that I've lived in a house for like what, 4 years, 3 years, however many years.
3 years, I think.
I know that whenever the bathtub and the toilet got as moldy as it did, that was not normal.
When Luke went to get something.
Oh, I went to go get the last, we moved out and we kept the apartment for like another 2 months or whatever to finish our lease. And I was going back to pick up like something, a couple of our extra crap that we left.
The bathtub and the toilet were all moldy. I didn't see it, but.
No, it was not. So it used to just mold a little bit around, which is normal in the toilet. But the shower, if you didn't wash the shower for 1 week, it molded like a big giant. It was like a ring of mold. Well, when I went over there, it was like an inch deep of mold, not just run around, like the whole thing. I was like, this is not good. No wonder my nose was running every morning that we were there.
I don't know. I guess I just blocked that from my brain.
I did like when we lived in that first apartment. I really liked living next to the highway. I got super used to the noises.
And I liked, we used to ride our bikes in the summer. We were really close to like
Cold Stone.
Yeah. Sometimes we'd go for a run and then we'd go get Cold Stone on our way back.
Yeah.
We
deserved it.
Balance.
Yeah.
Life's about balance.
Yeah.
But we were really close to like all the food places. So that was nice.
It was nice. I liked the location. I think that's why we lived there. But I don't know. I love this house.
And it was like right off the highway, and Luke liked that for some reason.
Yeah.
Most people wouldn't, but.
I felt like I've always wanted to live in a big city, but I also don't. I get nervous when I'm in big cities, or overwhelmed, I guess. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
You've seen me like try to park a car, parallel park a car. It's not good. I get really nervous and scattered. But so we got married. We had a beautiful wedding. We had lots of people there.
Mm-hmm.
We probably do it a little differently if we got remarried, just because we're different now. But it was fun, and I'll never forget it because Allie looked perfect that day.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And here we are now, almost 4 years in.
Mm-hmm.
We got a little puppy. His name's Huey.
He was over there.
He was. He's probably. This dog is like, if we have friends come over, he's like the craziest dog ever. But then, whenever no one's here, he's like an old man. Like he's in bed right now, sleeping. I think. Yeah. Oh man. So, is there anything else we can add to this story about we got married? Like, have you liked? What did you? We went on a honeymoon. That was fun-ish.
Uh-huh.
We went on our honeymoon to where was it?
The Dominican Republic.
Yeah, and we did an all-inclusive resort, which was sweet.
But I don't know.
It was our first time out of the country.
Both of us.
And Allie deals with some anxiety, and I'm don't trust any.
Some meaning a lot
Yeah.
of anxiety.
Yeah.
Especially leaving the country for the first time without my parents.
Without our parents. And like we were young. Like you're 20
20.
and I was 21. And I don't trust anyone. So like I had a knife with me the whole time. You know, like I'm like the guy that's like everyone's trying to kill us.
Yes.
So probably also anxiety in some form or another. And
paranoid.
yeah, I remember when we first got to our to the airport in Dominican Republic, they had said like you need to make sure that you walk past all these people who are going to be telling you like come with me, do this, buy this, and we're like, oh, that's scary. So we did, and then we found the place we needed to go to, and they brought us to this van, and it was just us two and this guy, and he drove us.
He didn't speak English.
He didn't speak any English, and he drove us to the resort, and in the middle of the highway, he just stops, gets out, and comes to the back seat. Me and Alex are just like, I have my knife in my backpack. I'm like, oh no. And
but Luke was really calm the whole time, which was needed because I was freaking out inside.
Yeah.
But there was like some liquid on the ground, and he like walked over and touched it and didn't say anything, and then just got back in the seat and started driving.
It was
again.
so weird. I was like, what the freak? This doesn't make any sense.
So when we got to the resort, Luke was like, did you think we were going to die? I was like, yeah. It's like, me too.
We thought we were going to die.
So it didn't start off great.
No, not the best start, but it was super fun. The thing though, that we were like scaredy cats. So there was like these adventures or whatever you could go do in the city, excursions, but we didn't do those because we were either too cheap or we just were scared to go into the city. There was that Boko Congo or whatever, the discos. They kept wanting us to go to the discos.
Well, and that was part of the casino.
Yeah.
And in the welcome meeting, the guy told us to be careful if you go to the casino because a couple the week before went there and didn't know any of the rules of the games and lost all their money and couldn't get home.
Yeah. And they were Americans. Basically, Americans are pretty easily.
And I'm pretty sure they're on their honeymoon. They had to call their family to wire them money so they could get home.
Yeah. So we heard that and we're like, oh, we can't leave this at all. And
terrifying.
At night we could have went to the beach, but it was so dark we were scared.
We walked to the beach one night and turned around and walked back because it was so dark and we were scared.
Yeah, we were scaredy cats.
There was also a rope a couple feet in from off the shore, and you couldn't pass that line in the ocean.
Yeah.
And it wasn't very far out at all, so that was concerning.
Yeah, I didn't get in the water one time.
No, you couldn't go further than 5 feet in the water, and I really didn't understand why, so I was too scared to even go that far.
Oh man, I wish we could go back now because we've both been out of the country to completely different places. You've been to Jamaica in the hood and the
I
little
went on a
hut
mission
lands.
trip
Yeah.
in Jamaica.
And I've been to Israel during a national crisis. So I think now if we went back to a resort,
We'd be fine.
we'd have a lot more fun.
We would into our room every night and watched Full House.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
Every night we would go and I was I'm pumped. 7 p.m. Full House is on.
I think we literally went to sleep by 9 o'clock every night.
I had Sim City on my phone and I built the sickest city that week.
I read 4 books.
Yeah. It was honestly pretty boring. It was fun.
People make fun of us if we say that it was boring.
But it was.
It's your honeymoon. It's not supposed to be boring, but it really was.
It wasn't all boring, but a lot of it was really boring.
And we don't like to just sit at the beach. So that's all
we're not big
to do.
drinkers. And that's all everyone did there was every 5 seconds fill their giant mug of alcohol up. I didn't even know what to order. So I was just I'll just have a Coke. And I just drank Coke all day. Just got dehydrated.
Yeah, Luke was happy because they refilled our room with
Coke. Oh, man, they did. They
had
had the best Coke. They had those big, giant bottled Cokes, and they had Sprite, too.
And
the Sprites.
They gave us, as a gift, 2 cigars and a bottle of rum. The first night, Luke dropped the bottle of rum everywhere. So
yeah, the second we walked in, I opened the fridge, and it was look. all over the ground. We're like, housekeeping. We
So then our
dropped it.
room stunk like rum for a
Yeah.
while.
Well, speaking of those cigars, we brought the cigars back, and this is another.
This is where my anxiety comes in.
Yeah, this is a good example of our marriage. Still, we get through the flying from Dominican to the United States is easy. There's, like when you're in Dominican, it's like getting into the airport. You can bring anything in there and you're fine. But we got back we were like in our layover in the United States, and I had
We were going through customs.
Yeah, we were about to go through customs, and I had the cigars, and she's like, "Should we have the cigars?"
We checked. Hold on. We checked like we were talking to somebody, and he kept asking like the little thing you have to fill out on the plane of what you brought back, and one said like tobacco.
Oh yeah, it said, "Did you bring tobacco back?"
And
You
we
had to say something.
we like checked no, and then they were talking about it when we got back, so I started like internally freaking out.
She's like, we can't have that. What are we gonna do? So then like she's like, throw it away. So like now I have to look suspicious. I'm like opening my bag in the middle of the airport, pulling out cigars, putting them in the trash, and walking away. I'm like, all right, well, here in a little while, whenever someone comes to ask us why I did that, you can answer.
Yeah, he was kind of frustrated.
Oh man,
Like,
but we
this
made it
doesn't
back
look
safely.
Suspicious at all.
Yeah, not suspicious. This dude just takes his wooden box out and puts it in the trash and then keeps walking.
I'm sad that we didn't get to keep him.
Me too, because those are sweet.
Yeah.
We don't have anything except some really goofy pictures from
Oh yeah.
the beach with the
A couple
parrots.
people like would walk by with like random animals every day. It was different every single day.
Yeah.
And one day they had 2 birds, and they asked us if we wanted to take pictures with them. So we were like,
We said yes for whatever reason.
because the one before I think was like a reptile that you wouldn't
Oh,
have touched.
a snake? If the dude brought a snake up to me, I would have punched him in the face.
And so the birds, we were like, sure. And then they made Luke take like 50 pictures.
Yeah, then it turned into a photo shoot of just me. I'm like
And they would put like the birds right here,
on my pecs, like.
and then on his hands, and then they're like, okay, your turn. I was like, no
Nope.
thanks.
I said nope. She just stayed in the pool, and then they left. I was like, dang it. But we bought the pictures because it was kind of fun.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Now you can put those on there too.
Yeah, I'll put them on there if I remember. Now I have to listen to this podcast after we make it.
We have a lot of things to attach.
Yeah. So we had a fun honeymoon. And it all leads up to, we've done a lot of cool things since we've been married. I mean, we went to Colorado and we've traveled kind of.
Not as much as we want.
Not as much as we want. We've traveled separately more than together
Yeah,
for
like
work and stuff.
Our
but
first year of marriage, we both took trips.
yeah,
like
you went to
2
Jamaica.
trips without each
Yeah.
other. I went to North Carolina too.
It was 3, yeah. Oh, no, yeah, it was 4 because you went to North Carolina, Jamaica, and I went to Israel and Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Good times.
I don't think we went anywhere together.
Nope. No, nowhere together. That's just the way to do it. Get married and don't go anywhere together. No. Don't do that.
No.
I just got lucky and got to go to Israel with work. It wasn't for fun at all. It was definitely completely for work, but
Yes.
it was fun. So we've almost been married for 4 years, and we're about to go on an extremely sweet adventure right now. Well, not right now, but
In
maybe right now if you're listening
2
to
days.
this. In 2 days, on our fourth anniversary. We're
March
leaving.
7th.
It's kind of like our gift to each other.
I don't think we really planned it that way. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, we didn't originally plan like on our anniversary
Yeah.
we'd leave, but now it kind of just works out that way.
Drew was supposed to come with us. And
Yeah.
it had to do more with his spring break, but
Yeah, but now he's in college, so he can't come, unfortunately. But it'll be fun with the 2 of us.
mm-hmm.
We're going to drive all the way to California, the 2 of us,
Yes.
and camp all
Not
the way
straight.
there.
We're making some stops.
Yeah,
but
we're gonna camp there. I got a rooftop tent for my car. Well, our car. Well, first I bought a new car. I needed one, but I also kind of selfishly bought it in regards to us like going on these
I
kinds
like
of trips.
to say that we needed it.
Yeah, I like to say that we needed it. Maybe not 100%, but I'll just let Allie think we needed it because it helps her
It
brain
had to
work
be the
better.
world's most expensive vacation.
Yeah, a $30,000 vacation.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Yeah, we bought so we have a really dependable car that is brand new. So that's one of the things I needed for this trip because we're driving across the country. The last thing I want to do is break down somewhere because like there's all of these other adventure people that are like awesome. Like we watch these two people called Bryce and Haley. And
Mm-hmm.
if they're ever listening to this for whatever reason, what's up,
I don't
Bryce?
think they're gonna listen
If
to
you
it.
for whatever reason ever listen to this, Bryce, I really like you, and I think you look cool, and I think we could be friends. But anyways, they're like driving across the country in a van from the 80s, and there's like, whatever, if it breaks down, it breaks, whatever. And I'm like, no,
Luke is not that way.
that is not how I work. If it breaks down, I'm going to have a heart attack. So,
That's more me.
yeah.
In that scenario.
Allie's like, oh, we could just take my grandpa's van across the country. Who cares if it makes it?
It would make it.
I'm like, no, we got to have 8 plans. Plan B, C, all the way down through the alphabet. Because we ain't getting stuck in the mountains.
We're not going to get stuck. We wouldn't get stuck.
We wouldn't. Plus, I have some internet friends out that way that I hopefully get to meet when we get there. So we're going to travel. We're going to start in Denver will be our first stop because it's like 17 hours in.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go to Utah. We're starting at Arches.
Mm-hmm.
And then going to Zion.
Yep.
And
We're
then-
testing Luke's
And
knowledge of
then,
our route.
yeah, and then we're going to drive to California. And we're going to pass through Las Vegas on the way through.
Yes.
And we're going to stop at the Strip and just check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know where we're starting once we get to California.
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, which I've been there once and it was like one of my favorite places. So we're gonna go there, and then we're gonna. There's all kinds of places we're gonna go.
Yosemite.
And Yosemite,
San Francisco.
San Francisco,
And then back home.
back home. It's gonna be sweet. We're gonna hike, and I'm filming the whole thing. I'm gonna film every day, make YouTube channel videos or whatever.
Yep.
I did that when we went to Colorado. It helps me because, like, I really like to look at stuff, but if I don't film it and it's my first time seeing something cool like that, it really bums me out. I don't know why. It's like a mixture of like a home video. Like I want it for us, but I also want to show people what it looks like. And I'm a filmmaker, so I dream about seeing mountains, and I film in Zion and like the cities and like the bridge. I want to fly the drone around the Golden Gate Bridge somehow.
I don't even think that's...
Bless you. You think it's legal?
Excuse me. No, I don't think that's legal.
How do you know?
I'm just guessing that you can't do that.
Don't say it on the internet. Now they're going to find me. And
You're the one that said you're going to fly it.
that's true. But I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a fun trip. And I think we're going to get to have some good fun together. We'll probably have some good arguments, but it'll be fun.
I have to sneeze again.
Do it again.
No, I'm not going
No,
to.
you can't.
I've had to sneeze this whole time.
Just do it. You're allowed to sneeze on here. It makes it
I'm
more
trying.
interesting.
I'm not trying not
You're
to.
trying to sneeze? Well, let's talk about one more thing, and then we'll get off here, because it looks like we've been talking for like 40 minutes. Impressive.
It is.
I'm talking too much, I think. I want to
No,
hear
you
more
haven't.
from you.
I've just been focusing on not sneezing.
That's good. I'm glad. You could have sneezed this whole time.
I'm trying.
Well, so we've been married for almost 4 years, and it's been the most fun 4 years ever. So, like, let me get your opinion on this.
Okay.
People always say, like, before you get married, they're like, be prepared. It's going to be so hard. It's going to be the hardest thing you've ever done. You're going to go through so much. It's going to be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
This, that. You're going to not like each other a lot. Blah, 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 blah. What do you think of that?
I don't think that it's true.
Why?
I don't know. I don't think that marriage is all that hard. I think a lot of people like told us that it was going to be one of the hardest things that we do, but I still haven't found that to be true in the 4 years that we were married. But I think a lot of it was that we knew each other really well before we got married. Not that you have to do that, but I think like marriage counseling and learning how to communicate with each other. And we are both believers in Jesus, and so that helps us.
Yeah, big
And
time.
so I don't think that it's hard at all. I think it's one of the easiest things I've ever done.
Yeah, me too. I think for some people it could be hard.
Mhm.
Like, if you don't know anything about each other, I could see like incompatibility issues happening where it's like, for instance, like I pee with the door open sometimes. Or right next to Allie while she's brushing her teeth. And
Yeah,
I know,
that's annoying.
and it's probably annoying, but it doesn't ruin everything.
No.
She like is the chillest lady ever.
But I'm
You know what I
able
mean?
to communicate that it's annoying.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
you.
So then when I do it, I know I'm annoying her, but it's okay because it's grace. I don't know. I think that it's been really easy for us, and I don't mean to get all religious on everybody here, but I do believe it's all because we center our whole marriage around who Jesus is and what he wants us to do, and we've studied in scripture what relationships should look like, and we've got great mentors, and
Yep.
we are honest with each other, but we don't take life too serious. And when we do, we tell each other. And Allie's great for me because she's like, she'll humble the crap out of me. Like, she'll tell me when I need to know something. And not in a mean way. She's just, people need that. And then I don't know what I'd do for her, but if I had to guess, I feel like I can calm her down in situations where she may be overwhelmed, or I don't know.
Yeah. And like, you can't talk to me in the same way that I talk to you. We're very different.
Yes.
And I think you know how to talk to me.
Yeah. It took a little while to learn. Like this, I always tell people this. When a woman is, all right, guys, all you guys out there that are listening to this or watching this is some advice. Whenever she says, leave me alone, and she's sad or she's upset or she had a bad day, and she literally says, leave me alone, or like, I want to be by myself. I really want to be by myself. That doesn't mean that you go and hug her and get close to her and say, what can I do? You can't freaking do anything, dude. What you can do is you can go downstairs or go to your room or go wherever your space is and play video games for like an hour, and then give her some time to her space, to herself.
For some girls.
For some girls. I don't think that's every girl. But like, I found that out about Allie, and it changed things, because I used to be like, I want to help her. I can help her. But no, that was making it worse, because then she had to feel like she had to like not be rude to Luke, because Luke's trying his best. He's trying his best to be nice, but I really don't want him to be standing here talking to me about this. You know what I mean?
We handle arguments differently.
Yeah.
Which was a hard lesson to learn. But
yeah, that's like the high school us would have crumbled
yes.
in those moments.
But because Luke wants to deal with everything right then and figure it all out and doesn't want to leave the room until there's a solution. But I'm more of I need my space and need to think about it before I speak, because I'll say things that I regret if I'm pushed. So we ended up learning that, but it took us a while.
It took us a while. But I feel like that's the cool part of what marriage, that's like the beauty of marriage. So they say it's difficult in ways, and I think when people say it's difficult or whatever, I think that it's more like, it's like an experience. Like you learn who a person is differently than anyone else in the world, because you get to see them every day. You have an intimate connection with them that's different than anyone else. Like you get to die with them, hopefully, or like live with them until you die, or they'll, you know what I mean? It's like, it's different than just having a friend.
Yeah.
And it's only been 4 years, and I think it's so fun. It's gonna be cool to keep doing it forever, because me and Allie are gonna live forever. So
At least I'm gonna live longer.
No,
I'm gonna live shorter.
Allie wants to die before me because she says she couldn't. I'm telling you, I'll die 5 minutes after her, because I'll just die of a broken heart.
Okay. Something
Marriage.
like that.
Yeah, I think it's been cool. I think that it being something where it's been like a big process, because I'm always interested in people that met like older people, and I guess we're not older people, but we're like mid-20s now. A lot of people get married in their mid-20s after meeting, and they date for like 5 or 6 months, and it's a faster process, because you don't have to like, we would have got married sooner, but we were in high school and college. Like I was not trying to get married and live in Muskingum together.
We got married at the youngest point that we could.
Yeah, it was like,
married.
All right, we can get married now. Let's do it. Married. And we got to see what it was like to be like a young married couple, because people always say, like, I keep throwing shade at people. I don't know why I keep doing this, but like, it was basically from experience from us. Is a lot of people gave us crap for getting married so early. They're like, why are you getting married so early? There's so much life, so much life to live. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what are you freaking talking about? We have so much life to live together. Now we get to do it together because we're married.
It's more fun.
It's more fun. And for any, like, everyone can have their own opinion, but I get really sad when people are like, well, it's not any different than dating, so just date and do all the same stuff you're doing married. Like, obviously we think of it from a different standpoint because we're both believers, so there's like a Christian marriage guideline set basically that we have. But I also really think that marriage is separate than just dating someone, and there's a commitment level there that like blows past anything. That
it's more serious.
Yeah, and I love it. And if any of you hated everything I said, then go poop on a log or kick rocks. That's one of my sayings.
Or just listen and then have your own opinion anyways.
Yeah, it's the internet. You probably are listening. You're like, I agree with that. And you're typing. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm just kidding. I love it. I'm excited for the future.
Me too.
We got a good future ahead of us, Allison. It's going to be fun. Well, cool. Do you have any advice for married people or not married people?
I'm trying to think. For married people, I would say don't get too comfortable. Still try to impress each other and lift each other up and encourage each other. I think that's something that we've been focusing on this year.
Yeah, I agree. That's such a good one. I could talk about that for hours.
Last year we kind of lost our way in that.
Yeah.
We were kind of living here, but
we were like married and living together, but
we didn't really see each other. We
ran past each other, yeah.
Weren't really doing.
Weren't dating each other
life
like they always
together.
say.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. 2018 sucked. And we're making 2019 better.
Yeah.
By taking... I like it. I like it a lot better. I would say that too. I'd give that advice for all the guys out there. Like, still be creative with your lady. Try to be romantic. Just because you've been married for 5, 10, whatever amount of years, doesn't mean that she doesn't want you to wow her still sometimes.
Never stop dating.
Yeah, never stop dating. They always say that's cliche, but it's true. It's like it's true, more true than anything in marriage, probably. Like, just keep loving on each other.
Set aside a night and go do something.
Go do something together. Go for a walk.
It's also easy for us to say because we don't have kids.
Yeah, we don't have kids yet, which we won't get into that conversation.
No. Maybe another time.
We'll talk maybe another time about kids. I'm really salty about it right now, so it's probably not a good time.
We want kids, and we're trying to have kids. We're just having trouble.
Yeah, so if you're out there and you're a believer or you have good thoughts or whatever the heck you do for people that are trying to do things, give us some prayers or thoughts or whatever, because
good vibes,
whatever the heck you believe. I don't care what it is. We could use anything. We've been trying for almost 2 years, and there's no luck so far, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it will.
We really want kids. We love children. Well, I really like children.
I like my own kids.
Allie will like her own kids. Allie likes kids more than she thinks, and she's really good with kids.
I like some kids. I like certain ages.
Certain ages, yeah. Well, me too. I don't like 10-year-olds. They stink. Like, literally, they probably smell.
Like 9, 10-year-old boys. I don't like that age.
See, I like any age boys because I'm a boy.
Yeah, but they are like...
Yeah, they fart and they're like gross. Yeah, I like that. I couldn't deal with girls because they're like, Barbies and emotions.
I don't think... Are Barbies even a thing anymore?
I don't know. That was stereotypical. I didn't mean to say that. But we're going to have kids one day. And we want to adopt, too.
Yes, we do.
Eventually. I really want to adopt.
I want to adopt, but I also want my own children.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's a human thing. I want to have kids because I feel like it's in my blood to have kids. I want to, like, start a family. But I also want to help somebody who doesn't have a chance.
Yeah.
That's why we also adopt. So, I'm excited about that. But we'll get past that part. This will all be a distant memory one day.
Yeah.
So be praying for baby Carmichael, whatever the baby is, or twins, or triplets, whatever it has to be.
Don't wish that.
Can you imagine
us.
Triplets? I'd poop my pants if that happened. Man. Sweet. Well, I don't know what else to talk about on this podcast. This was fun. Just chatting. We don't get to just sit in front of a camera in the living room and talk. This is a different setup, by the way.
We do this every day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we do this every day. This is just the real thing. This is funny. I don't have my main camera or my main light, so I apologize if this looks really bad. What was that?
I don't know.
It sounded like a car. I wonder what it was.
Maybe it's the person that stole your Ray-Bans.
They came to
give them back.
They came to give them back. Oh, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Well, wish us luck on our trip. You're going to see lots of videos after we get back.
Yeah, not during.
We're going to do another one of these eventually. I like chatting because I want to talk about stuff eventually. I want to talk about like work-life balance and like we don't know everything. Let me make that statement. Like please do not think that we know everything about marriage or relationships. Like we don't know anything. We just know a little bit because we've done it for 4 years, which isn't even that long.
No.
But we do feel like we know how to do some things right, and we would like to share it, and it's fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've just had some fun memories. Lots of memories. We'll end with this. Let's just end with a couple of good memories.
I'm scared.
I think a lot of my, not favorite memories, but there's definitely lots of memories of times that I've had to like walk around. Like the first time I knew, like, so as a man, hopefully, if you're a man.
Oh, you're talking about in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night, as a man, when you get married as a man, at some point you're going to have to go and check the house for your wife because she's going to hear something.
Especially if your wife has anxiety.
Especially if your wife has anxiety. And I dreaded that day because I'm a scaredy cat. I'm not a scaredy cat anymore. I think I used to be a big scaredy cat. Do you think I'm a scaredy cat still?
No,
okay.
You're not.
I'm pretty tough now.
I think that you are used to it now and you know there's nothing out there.
That's true.
There's never anything out there.
That's true. And I have a gun now. So,
true.
Anybody who comes in here, I'm going to kill you. Anyways, I probably should rephrase that. If anyone breaks into this house with intent to hurt us, I will shoot at you.
And we have a security system now.
And we have a security system. And we have Huey.
Oh, yeah. Huey is real tough.
He is tough, isn't he?
If you could see Huey, he's not tough.
No. He's not tough at all.
But anyways, you checking in.
Oh, so there's been like 100 times that I've had to wake up in the middle of the night and just check the house.
I think I hear things and then I poke Luke and
she's like, Luke. I'm like, what? Or the 50 times that your water falls down and it sounds like an ocean. And I'm like, ah! Nothing wakes me up.
First of all, it has not been 50 times. I've maybe done it 3.
I think just the 3 times felt like a lot more.
I have water beside my bed every night. And a couple times I have knocked it over in the middle of the night and it's full. And so it sounds like a waterfall in our bedroom. And it scares Luke every time.
It does scare me. It like makes me jump out of my trousers.
And Huey both jump.
Yeah, we're both like, oh, because Huey sleeps very close to us at night. I think that, I don't know, what's a good memory you have?
I don't know. I've been trying to think.
Wow. Colorado was fun.
It's hard to come up with them on the spot.
Yeah,
Colorado
that's
was
true.
fun. Oh, I know my favorite story.
Ooh, gosh, what is it?
One time I was baking.
Oh, man, this is a good one.
I think this was in like our first or second year of marriage, but I was baking and
It was here at the house too, right?
Mm-hmm. And there was like marshmallows on top of whatever I was making. And you were supposed to put it in the oven and like broil it, which I don't even really know what that is.
Yeah,
And
what is broiling?
I don't know. The top part gets really hot though. That's all I know.
Okay.
And I think you're supposed to do it for like a couple of seconds because they were just like mini marshmallows. And then they all caught on fire. And I opened the oven and flames poured out. But it like was just marshmallows, so it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, just
I
flames
couldn't
flying
communicate this with Luke because he was freaking out as soon as he saw the flames. And I wanted to tell him that they were just marshmallows, but I couldn't because I was laughing so hard because he just started running around the house. And I was like trying to take it out of the oven, and he's literally just running in circles, yelling, "Call your mom! Call my mom! Call call 911.
No, I remember that. Yep.
And apparently he was running around
I was looking for a
fire extinguisher that we don't even have.
We have one. I just couldn't find it.
And that I had never seen it at that point. And
yeah, actually, it wasn't ours. The person that lived here before left it like in the shed.
So,
and I had seen it one time.
Yeah, he was running around looking for that apparently, but after I like was on the floor about to pee my pants because I was laughing so hard, like, and then I was just like, it's just marshmallows. Like I literally put it outside and then the flames were gone.
Yeah. That was funny. That was me I'm a little bit over dramatic. So like between the two of us, I'm like a relaxed person. I'm pretty chill and calming, but I'm also probably like the spazziest dude you'll ever meet.
In situations like that.
In specific situations.
I just love that your first reaction was still to call our moms.
Call our moms. Call my mom. Call your mom.
Before 911 if there's a fire.
Yeah, because we were young and that's what we would have done before is call our moms.
They
like,
probably would have
Mom,
said,
what do we
hang
do?
up and call 911.
Well, we should have. We should have called 911.
But yeah, that's my favorite memory.
That was a good one. Shoot. Now I got to think of my actual favorite memory because, like, my favorite memories are obviously not waking up in the middle of the night. Oh, man. What is my favorite memory from our marriage? Man, that was a good one that you had.
I was just trying to think of something funny, and that's what came to my head.
Yeah, maybe I can think of a funny one because, like, a lot of memories are my favorite. Like Colorado.
Most of our memories are of either one of us freaking out about something and then it turns out fine.
Yeah. I guess
Yeah, Colorado was fun.
Colorado's fun. I guess there was a funny moment the time that we came home and the fence was gone.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
So we...
It's just very random.
It is random. A lot of the stuff that we've had happen is random. Like we've had termites. That's random. Our fence just went missing one day. So like part of our fence, we have Huey, who's our dog. And we'll tell the story of Huey eventually. I don't really want to tell it right now. But
no.
He... when he was a puppy, he needed a fence because he would just run away. He actually used to run in between the fence and run away anyways. But one day,
very small.
We came home and I was getting something out of the trunk and Allie went inside to let Huey out and then he darted past me. I'm like, what the heck? And then I went to the backyard and the whole side of the fence was just gone.
I just let Huey out and the side was just...
completely gone. The neighbor, and then I was like, okay. So me and Doug, which is Allie's dad, he helps us. He's the best man ever. He helps us with anything we need. And he helped me put a new fence up. Basically, he put the new fence up. I just held the flashlight, as I usually do. And a couple days later, we had the new fence, and our neighbor comes out, and she's like, it's a nice new fence. Is that... She saw Huey. She's like, you guys have a dog? We're like, yes, we have a dog. You got rid of the fence.
It like never occurred to her to tell us that she's
just gonna get rid of this fence that apparently that part of the fence was hers and not ours.
Oh.
Yeah, that kind of stuff happens here quite a bit.
Especially with our random neighbors.
Yes, we do have random neighbors. We have really random neighbors, and none of them are our age.
No, we're like the youngest people in this whole neighborhood, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I love Rose, though. She's our favorite neighbor.
Yeah, which I like it that way because it's quiet.
Mm-hmm. It's really quiet here. And, yeah, there's not giant parties happening or anything.
No. One time this past summer, we had a garage sale, and a guy that lived here before us, he was like our age, but he was single.
Yeah.
And he had like
dudes
guy roommates, and so they had parties and stuff here, and we had a garage sale, and the guy that lives like down the street from us, he was talking to us, and he was just like, you guys aren't as social as the other guy that lived here, like just kind of rudely.
He was like, you guys don't ever have anyone over. I'm like, all right, come on, man, we're not lame.
He just kept talking about how we never had people over
like,
at our house.
Can you stop
like,
looking down the street at our
okay.
house, you weirdo? Sorry, that was rude, but it's kind of weird.
We have
I think the
here.
people are very, very observant on this street. Like, they know what's going on.
Yes. They like to...
Except for
scope
Rose.
everybody
Rose
out.
is not really normal. I love her, but... Anyways, we could talk forever.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, thanks for being on the anniversary edition of this podcast where we just talked about random stuff.
Thanks for having me.
I was happy to have you. I'd have you every single week forever. We didn't get to talk about, like, ALC Productions, which we started together.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get to talk about the Ville Crochet, which everyone, really plug Allie. She is one of the best makers on this planet. A maker is a person that crochets or knits or is in that artistic world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you make something, you're a maker.
You make something, you're a maker. Follow the Ville Crochet. It is unbelievably awesome, like crochet and knitted items and kind of like lifestyle stuff. And she collabs with like some of the best makers in the world. She's part of that crew. She's amazing. So follow her on there and buy hats from her.
Talks me up a lot.
No.
If you don't like yarn, you won't like it.
Yes, you will. I don't like yarn, and I like your stuff.
You're my husband.
So? You don't like video games, and you don't support video games. Well, I guess you let me play video games if I want, so never mind. That does work. We didn't talk about how... We'll talk about this stuff next time. On the next time we do this, in 2020, just kidding, we'll do this again before then. Like, if you're a husband that likes to play video games, there's definitely a good medium for still playing video games but not neglecting your wife.
Yeah, if you stay up until
3 a.m. and get no sleep. I'm just kidding. Oh, there's so much. I could talk about everything with you. We do a lot of talking. I said do. We talk a lot. Like this trip, we're going to talk for 30 hours.
Time.
We actually talk. We probably shouldn't have done this because
we're not supposed to be talking.
We're not supposed. Yeah, we said we weren't going to talk to each other, so we would have stuff to talk about.
We have to spend a lot of time in a car together.
Mm-hmm. But we listen to podcasts a lot, so maybe we'll do that. Anyways, follow Allie on. You can follow her. What's your regular, like your personal Instagram?
Allie Carmichael 7.
Allie Carmichael 7. Follow her there for that sick outfit game. And then follow her on the Ville Crochet. She's got an Etsy page. She's got a website. And she got an Instagram account with 6,000 followers.
I don't think I'm going to get through the whole thing without you saying that.
Nope, I said it. And if you want to, if you liked this podcast on Spotify, YouTube, the podcast app, or wherever the heck you're listening to this or watching this, thank you so much. I'm so happy you came. You can follow me on Twitter at Luke Carmichael 7, I think, or on Instagram at Luke Carmichael 2, or you can follow my business page, ALC Productions, and you can have me film your wedding or your videos. Just kidding. I don't care. I don't want to film your stuff. Anyways.
Yes, you do.
I do. I really do. I'm so thankful that you were all listening. I'm thankful that you're here, Allie. Thanks for being married to me. That was episode 4, and it was super fun.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. I love you all.